Have you ever felt good about yourself and then stepped on the scale to see a number you didn't expect and then thought, wow, maybe I'm not that thin. Maybe I haven't made that much progress. Maybe I don't look as good as I think or as I feel. That happened to me this morning. I haven't weighed myself in probably 2 months, but I've been feeling great. I've been doing all the things, and I step on the scale and the number was so disappointing. It literally ruined my entire day, and I'm still thinking about it, which is why I wanted to make this video. I want to talk about why the scale messes with our heads, why it plays such a significant role in our idea of how we look, especially as women in our 40s and older. Here's why this matters to you. You've worked hard, you've been consistent, you are eating better, maybe even saying no to all these things that derail you, and then you step on the scale and it wipes all of that away. You go from feeling strong, you feel accomplished, to questioning literally everything that you've been doing. And it's not because you failed, it's because the scale doesn't measure what actually matters. Like I said, I have not weighed myself in 2 months. I've been eating well, consistently in the gym, doing cardio 4 to 5 days a week, lifting weights 4 days a week, doing Pilates. I've been so incredibly consistent. I have been barely drinking alcohol. My clothes are fitting great. I feel lean. I don't feel like I've had any significant fat gain on my body. And the only reason I weighed myself is in preparation for surgery. I'll have to take about 4 to 6 weeks off, so I just want to have this comparison. When I step on the scale, I'm expecting to see something moderate within my range. For reference, I'm usually around 139 to about 142. And when I stepped on the scale, it was 145. Now, I know that might not seem like a big differentiation, but when you feel like you're doing everything right and you have a certain expectation, that's what you expect to see on the scale. When it's not what you see, you start to question everything. No amount or type of comments from anybody saying that I look good or fit, or really any type of complimentive comment on my physique will help the level of delusion that I have now, thinking that because the scale was higher than I thought it would be, I am bigger than I think I am, that I look different to the world. I must have been delusional to see myself as healthy and fit and thin. Like, it's crazy. And when I say this, I know it's crazy, but it still feels real and really true. If I was coaching my clients, this is what I would tell them. The scale is not a good or accurate representation of your progress or your weight loss or of your current body composition. There are so many variables that play into why the scale fluctuates, and it's incredibly frustrating, especially for women when we're so hyper-focused on our weight, on our image, on our progress, to see the inconsistencies of the scale when we are working so hard towards a certain goal. But for women specifically, the reason why we have the biggest fluctuations is because of our hormones. Especially if we are in our 30s, 40s, or older, our hormones are all over the place. Like in perimenopause, you could be up 5 pounds one day and down 5 pounds the next. And so many things are affected, like our water retention, glycogen, sodium levels, muscle versus fat. And that's another thing for me, and why it's so crazy even for me to say like I'm disappointed about the scale being up, because I am in the gym specifically working to grow my glutes. I'm lifting heavy to grow. So I'm expecting to gain muscle, but for some reason I don't want that to impact or change what I see on the scale, which is bonkers. So I'm telling my clients, do not weigh yourself as a measurement of progress. Look at pictures. How do your clothes fit? How is your energy? How is your mood? How is your confidence level? How's your strength in the gym? How are your measurements? These are all way more effective methods than stepping on the scale, because the scale is just one data point. It's not indicative of your effort, your results, your health, and definitely not your worth. Our bodies fluctuate for a million different reasons that we cannot always see. We cannot let one number erase months or even days of progress, or even to change our mood for 1 second, which I know is easier said than done. If you stepped on the scale and felt like a failure, you are not failing. You are literally just human. Even the women you look at online who you think are perfect or have the best bodies also battle the same battles. Nobody is perfect. Nobody's confidence is bulletproof, and nobody's journey is without setbacks and fluctuations. We are all more alike than we realize, regardless of how we look. Your success comes from your actions. The workouts you show up for, the meals you prep, the choices you make day after day, that is the real progress. The scale is just one snapshot that is often misleading. The way your clothes fit, the way you feel, the way you carry yourself, how proud you are of hitting your goals, that is truly what matters. That is what goal achievement, fulfillment, and satisfaction looks like. And really, I'm just sharing this because honestly, I've been so bummed out about it, and I want you to see that even someone who eats well, trains consistently, and feels good in her body can still be rattled by the scale. It put me in a funk all day yesterday, and I'm snapping out of it today to make this video and let you know that all of us women are in the same boat or experience same ups and downs as each other. You are not alone. I always say misery loves company, but I hate that it's a negative connotation, but it's just comforting to know there are other people that feel the same way you do, that get discouraged the same way you do, that feel like failures, that put so much emphasis on things like the scale that really are not great representation of our worth, our progress, our actions. If the scales wrecked your mood, let me know in the comments. I would love to hear your story. And hit like so we can spread the message. Please subscribe. I'll keep showing up to share what's real and honest with me and not just what looks perfect online.